Hello, and welcome to another Thursday's Travel Talk at Travel Time. We welcome you today as we're going to talk to Princess Cruises. Myself and Wanda Smith-Sparks from our team at Travel Time. We will explore all of the options and the experience of Princess Cruises. So welcome, Wanda and Cindy.
Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Cindy, it's great for you to join with us today to bring our listeners some information about Princess Cruises. We appreciate your time, and we know that we have some listeners who will be very interested in the information that you have to share. So tell us a little bit about Princess Cruises.
Well, thank you first for having us. We're so excited because Princess Cruises is a premier cruise line. So we actually have 14 ships when we start sailing back here in 2021. And the average size between about 1,900 up to about 3,600 is our biggest passengers. So kind of that middle size range, not too large, not too small. We visit 7 different continents with over 100 different countries and over 380 different destinations and ports. So we're really known as the destination leader, and we make sure to give all these guests amazing experiences in these destinations. As you guys know, we have many great partnerships with Discovery Channel and Animal Planet. Try that one, dear. And of course, they are able to give us those extra experiences in those destinations with really unique shore excursions that really get you involved in that destination. So yeah, we're a great premier cruise line that likes to take our guests all over the world.
I have enjoyed personally a couple of great cruise experiences on board Princess, so I can attest to that. It is a great experience, and you do it well for sure. So Wanda, I know that you like your cruises as well, so you can share with us some of your cruise experience, I guess.
Well, cruising for me is the ultimate vacation, as I've said many, many times while I was on your show. It's a one-stop shop, I guess you could call it. You
unpack once, right?
Unpack once. You get to visit different countries, different islands. You get short stays, long stays. You can get off if you want to. You can stay on board if you want to. Entertainment is unlimited. The cuisine is exquisite. What else can I say? It's the ultimate vacation.
You make it sound really good. We know that. We know that to be true. I should have said as well that I know we have some listeners that are very interested in the cruise experience and in the Princess experience in particular. So if there are any questions that anybody has throughout our presentation and our chat here today, please put them in the question box and we will answer them live. Cindy will help us out with any of the hard questions that she can deliver the information for us. So yeah, go ahead and type them in, and we would be happy to answer them. So Cindy, tell us a little bit about what is different about Princess Cruises. We know there's a whole host of cruise lines, and clients that are listening probably are familiar with many of the different ones. But what is it about Princess that stands out that our listeners should be aware of?
Well, you know what? Great question. And, every cruise line is absolutely amazing. They all offer something special, and they're all very different in a lot of ways. And it's sometimes just things here or there that you don't really realize right away. But for Princess, being the destination leader, what we like to do is make sure our guests get that experience. And so what we do actually have that makes us a little different is that we have those partnerships, like I mentioned, with Discovery and with Animal Planet, that actually gives us opportunities to experience that destination deeper, such as in Costa Rica. You can go and visit the sloth sanctuary while you're doing the Panama Canal. And we're the only one that allowed in there because of our Animal Planet partnership. And so it's a different experience. Now on board the ship, things that will be different for Princess is, we have this new program a new product, technology, I guess it's called, that we started 4 years ago. You know what? Who knew 4 years ago when we started this new technology that it would be so important post-COVID? And this new technology that we offered is called the Ocean Medallion. I'm sure you two have heard about it, and probably in our trainings and talks. And so the Ocean Medallion is literally the size, I was just looking to see if I had mine here, is the size of a loonie. And it is works with our phones or our devices that gives us an app that you actually can do things such as, we've now worked over this last year while we've been stopped sailing for COVID, to do things like do your paperwork and be able to board the ship from literally walking right through the port onto the ship. Whereas if you've ever sailed in the past with not only us, but most cruise lines, you kind of have to wait in the port for a few hours while they load the ship up. No more of that. It's literally going to be a seamless walk right through. And then, of course, one of my favorite things about the Ocean Medallion is the ordering of food and drinks wherever you are on the ship. So if I'm enjoying my beach chair, or my pool chair, sorry, and I don't want to have to move to get my beverage and my pizza, then I can actually order it and it's brought to me. And it's just on my device that I order it. So it's bringing us much great activities and new experiences and enhanced experience for our guests. They're going to be very, very exciting. We also have partnership with the Curtis Stone, as well as who's, of course, you probably heard of him. Curtis Stone's an award-winning chef, has his own TV shows, and he has brought a bunch of special menus on board, worked with our chefs, and make sure that we give the top best cuisine and, of course, meals to our guests to experience. And then it's also about our partnerships for the evening entertainment. Stephen Schwartz is one of our partners, and he's an award-winning producer and composer of many Broadway shows. So Wicked, Godspell, Pippin are some of his shows on Broadway, and he's now brought his Broadway shows on board our ship for us. So really, our experience at Princess is we want to make it seamlessly easy for you to get on the ship. Once you're on board the ship, we want you to enjoy good food, great entertainment, and of course, relaxing. And so between the Ocean Medallion and all of our partnerships, we make sure to enhance and give you the best part, best.
It sounds like you're using technology to totally enhance the experience on board.
We are. We actually just came out with a new portion of this Ocean Medallion. It's called Dine My Way. And it's very exciting because you can actually pick what time you want to eat, who you want to eat with, how fast or slow you want to eat. Right? Because how many times have we been at the restaurant and you're like, the show starts in a half an hour and you're kind of like, come on. You can actually say in your device, do you want to eat slow or do you want the fast because you want to get to the show? And then we know what kind of service to give you. Even for allergies or, of course, food sensitivities, you let us know. It's on your device. That actually goes to us so that we know to make sure to watch if we're serving you anything with those allergies, that you're allergic to. So it's a really exciting to see.
Cindy, I'm going to go back to the Ocean Medallion there for a second.
Yes.
So for anyone who's listening who has never sailed with Princess, the Ocean Medallion is like a fabulous new, I won't say a gimmick because it's so much more than that. It does so much. So you did mention that you could sit anywhere and order your drink. You could order your food. It will be delivered anywhere you are on the ship, right?
Yeah, even in your balcony cabin, right to your balcony.
Right to your balcony. And it does a few other things, doesn't it, Cindy? If you're walking down the hallway towards your door, it'll open the door for you before you get there. If your hands are all filled with luggage and things, you can just get there. It knows that you're coming, and it'll open the door and it'll welcome you before you enter the room. Isn't that right? It
does, actually. So it unlocks. So when you get close to it, it will welcome you. It has like an iPad on the outside of it, and will say, "Welcome, Wanda." And then you just touch your door handle, and it opens up for you. So if your hands are full,
Can I get something like that for home?
I know, right? Groceries, carrying my groceries in. You know what? I have on my PowerPoints, I usually have a slide of a woman with a plate full of donuts and 2 coffees in her hand. That's usually me in the morning because I'm usually bringing it to my teenagers to kick them out of bed, so it's like I'm usually carrying a handful of stuff. And so this way it's fantastic because you just kind of check this with your door a little bit and it unlocks and opens. But there's so much more as well. One thing we've added, because of course with COVID, everybody's got different levels of comfort with crowds right now. That's very big thing, how comfortable I am with people around me. And so we now have live venue capacities where you can actually go onto your device and say you wanted to go to the art auction, just as an example, or bingo. You know what? What's the space looking like? How is the seating? Am I comfortable with the number of people that are there? You can actually go onto your device and look at it. And it will show you what the seating is like, how full is it, and then you get to make an informed decision if you want to attend or not. And so that's going to be really a good way for guests to be able to make their decisions and their comfort levels for their vacation.
When you mentioned about the COVID levels, there is one question in the question box already asking about the vaccination requirements. So we may as well get that out of the way. That's our COVID preparation.
Yes, number one question lately, right?
Yeah.
So Princess has said for 2021 sailings that we have got we just opened. So we actually just announced here, of course, we have our Alaska sailing round trip out of Seattle for July until September. And then starting in September, running into November, we're going to be bringing back Panama Canal, some Caribbean sailings, California coastals, Mexican Riviera, and our Hawaiian sailings. Now, anything for 2021, we are saying they have to be vaccinated sailings. So what that means is at least 95% of our guests have to be fully vaccinated. That means vaccinated up to both vaccines 14 days prior of departure. There is a small percentile that we're allowed to have non-vaccinated guests due to health reasons or, of course, religious reasons. And so a guest, if they're for a health or religious reason, they can speak to the consultant, and the consultant can contact us. And what we do is we will try to make an allowance for it, but we do have limited because of the CDC that we can use, or that we're in without being considered fully vaccinated. Now, at this point, we have not said for 2022 if you have to be vaccinated. We
understand there's changes coming, and the science around this is evolving. So we do need to stay tuned.
And that's exactly it. For 2022, we have not said either way yet, because it really is up to the governments, the doctors, the World Health Organizations. There's all these different things into play. So we're definitely just keeping an eye, and we're just saying for right now, any of our sailings that we've announced for 2021 does have to be vaccinated.
And any vaccines would count?
Yeah, anything that's been approved by CDC and the World Health Organization.
Okay.
Thank you, Cindy.
Of course, and you do need to have proof of course, when you get to the ship, it is mandatory. You must have a proof of both vaccines being done and that you're fully vaccinated. That is a must requirement before you're allowed on the ship.
Okay, thank you.
Cindy, another question I get asked quite frequently is, will there still be a buffet, and will it be the same type of setup as prior to COVID?
So yes, there will be a buffet. Yay, right? I know, I'm excited about that. Yeah, there will be a buffet, but it's going to be served by our staff. So it won't actually be a self-serve anymore. They will now be closed up and we'll be serving you from the other side. For seating, the capacity will be lower, so the seating will not be the exact same. One thing that we have actually added to our Ocean Medallion is that we have actually ordered or added on to that, that lovely area that we were talking about. You can order whatever you want and have it delivered. You can actually order from the buffet now as well and have it delivered to you. So wow. Yeah, that's super exciting. So you can actually see what is being served at the buffet online and order from it, and we will bring it to you as well.
It's almost like having a personalized server.
Right?
Everybody with their own butler.
Exactly. Yes. But there will be definitely still a buffet there. It's just going to look a little different for the meantime. So,
Cindy, for Princess Cruises, who do you think is the ideal client?
Thank you for asking. That is a great question. You know what? For Princess, we like to call them meaningful travelers. And so what the meaningful traveler is they're looking for new experiences. They have an open mind. They want to experience culture, diversification. They want to try different things. They're looking at building memories, right? And so it's very, very important that, these people, they want to do it in a luxury, of course. They want to have, comforts, and they want to do it with that security of knowing that they've got the ship to come back to, but they want to find different things. And so we actually kind of have three different areas. So there's what we call the learning family. So the learning family is usually a younger family. Mom and dad really want to show the children and experience things with the children about the world. They want to introduce them to new things. And so a lot of time, for example, these families, the material stuff may not be as important as more of the experiences are the importance to the young families and sharing that with that family and the kids, and we can talk about our families, our family area here in a little bit. Then we've got, of course, the discerning traveler. Now, the discerning traveler is actually someone who wants still relaxation, but they want to a little bit to explore, right? So they have kind of that, they want to be able to relax at the spa, have the lotus, experience, do the sanctuary, which are adults only section, my favorite place to go. But yet then they enjoy having some adventure and learning some things when they're out. And then we have the adventurous explorer. Now, the adventurous explorer, I like to say I feel I fit in that age group. It's where you're hoping, or you're kind of on the verge of semi-retirement. You'll notice I said I hope to be there. You're looking at semi-retirement, but you're empty nesters. Most of the time it's empty nesters. And so all of a sudden they have a little bit more time on their hand, right? Because the family's gone or the kids are out of their home. And so they have a little bit more time on their hand to build and can create that perfect vacation. And for them, it's about exploring. It's going into new destinations. And it's really, about trying to find that different kind of hide off area in the corner kind of a thing. So it's definitely, as you can see, all three areas really do have that adventure and experience and getting to, immerse yourself in something and just take something away from it. So that's what we call the meaningful traveler, who are princess guests. Yeah.
That sounds like quite a few generational age groups and things would be a perfect fit there for sure. So it's not just one demographic.
No, and it's actually quite funny because I do get that question a lot. Well, you just got old people on the ship? You know what? No, actually, what sets the age for princess is the itinerary actually sets the age. Mm-hmm. So interesting enough, Alaska and the Caribbean are our busiest for families. So like Alaska in July and August, we're full. Our kids club is full and it's mostly young families. Same with the Caribbean, especially during Christmas and Easter breaks. We have tons of young families there. Then when you look at, when you're looking at more of a 30-day, sailing around South America, well, of course, that's going to automatically bring an older clientele because families don't have 30 days to go on a cruise, right? So there's a different level of age group there. And I think that's what people need to know is that Princess actually works for all generations.
Yes.
We have our kids clubs, we've got our teens clubs, we've got, the activities for all ages from young to old, and it works for everybody. It really is the destination that sets that age group for a lot of things.
So that is fair to say that if somebody is wondering about, a cruise that would be more family oriented or more adult oriented, the length of the cruise is going to be a very big factor.
Definitely. Same with over Easter break, spring break, Christmas break. Definitely the families are always more. The Mediterranean is quite busy during kind of July and August with families as well because of, right? So it's really depends on and again, the 7-day med, very busy with families compared to the 14-day med, right? Because families won't be able to take that time. So.
Another question we get asked a lot is about the ideal length of a cruise. And I know people have different opinions on that, but what would you say is the ideal length given your clientele?
You know what? So it's kind of interesting because sometimes when I get new people are brand new and they're like, they've never cruised before and they're like, oh, I'm just going to do a 3-day sailing. I'm like, no, that is do not do a 3-day sailing for your first sailing. You're not going to get the actual experience.
Not the typical experience.
It's not. My personal, to me, 10, 12, 14 days to me is perfect. Because you get to see a good amount of destinations, right? You get to have enough sea days to enjoy and rest and relax. And you kind of have that, because let's face it, when we first start traveling, it takes us a couple of days to come down after being busy at work and getting on the ship. And then you want to be able to enjoy it. And then it's like you kind of start wrapping up again as you start packing and getting ready to head home. So I personally love the 10 to 12 days for me. I mean, I probably would be very happy to try a 30-day one if I could get the time off work. You know, I think 10 and 12 days are really good time, a good length, because it gives you a little bit of a better, more deeper experience of actual cruises.
Well, here at the agency, we do get that question, and people who've never tried a cruise, they're afraid they wouldn't like it. They're thinking that, you know, a short cruise. We try to discourage that for all those reasons, because it's not a typical experience. And if you look at the cost as a price per day and compare it to what it would be for hotels and meals and entertainment and rental cars, everything, you can't often be on a land vacation for less expensive than what a longer cruise would be.
It's true. And you know what? I always say when I have people that have never cruised before, I always recommend to say like at least a 7-day. Start with a 7. But it's actually what I recommend for the people who have never cruised before. Get one of the itineraries that have actually got more ports of calls, right? If you're afraid that, because the biggest thing is, will I get seasick? Will I be afraid of like what's going to happen? They're very nervous of being at sea for so long. Then it's actually best to get one of the port heavy itineraries. You know, and the Caribbean's actually really good for some of that, is where you've actually got like out of 7 days, you've got 5 ports, you know, so it actually works out nicely because then you're busy enough and you're getting to experience it where you're actually kind of doing it all.
Wanda has a couple of itineraries to discuss that I think would be of interest to our listeners.
Yes. I love the one she was talking about for the Enchanted. I'm not going to lie. I've already got myself booked on one of those.
Cindy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Enchanted Princess? When is she coming? And does she have anything different than some of the other ships that Princess has?
Well, so the Enchanted Princess is already with us, actually. The Enchanted Princess joined us in November of last year, of 2020. Of course, she actually still hasn't had any guests yet. She is sailing around up in the European waters, just with her and 100 staff waiting to get us on board. So she is gorgeous. She's 3,600 passengers is the maximum she can have. She's sister to the Regal and the Royal. So if anybody's happened to have been on the Regal, the Royal, she's what we call the sister to her. So she's very similar, but of course has got a lot of new modern things. So we've got a couple things that we've got. We've got what we call our Sky Suites. And this actually is a 2-bedroom suite where it actually holds up to 5 guests. And it has a wraparound patio. So you can actually watch the movies under the stars from your patio on one side and the ocean from the other.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's got a living room, 2 separate bedrooms, absolutely beautiful. The other thing that she's got is we've got a new jazz bar. It's called Take 5. Yeah, I know. I just was saying to my husband, it sounds like quite a nice place to hang out in the evenings. And with a focus on some martinis and gin drinks, I understand. So yes, and they got live jazz music every night. And so that is something that's new on the Enchanted. And then we've also got the locked room experience, our escape room. So very popular over the last couple of years are those locked rooms where people go and have to try to find their way out. We have got this. It's going to be our escape room. And we do have that for people to enjoy and experience. So that is something also new on her. So it's very exciting. She's going to have some new shows that have never been debuted before on Princess, including The Muppets. I'm very excited about The Muppets. Not going to lie. I know it tells you my age group, but I'm like, woo, Muppets. So very excited. I'm making my kids go watch that with me. I don't care. Right? And so we've got some new ones as well happening there. So it's pretty, there's some exciting things happening. We're very excited to get her with our guests on board. So
we have taken out a group on the Enchanted Princess for the 27th of February, 2023. And the itinerary is fantastic.
Yes.
Yes. She leaves Fort Lauderdale, goes to the Princess Keys in Bahamas, off to St. Thomas Virgin Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Bonaire, Aruba, and then back to Fort Lauderdale. What a fantastic itinerary.
It is a dream itinerary.
How many nights is that one, Wanda?
This one is 10 nights, leaving the 27th of February, and it's called the Southern Caribbean with Aruba. So we have 16 rooms ready. If anybody is interested in that, they can call any member of our group, our travel time team, and we'll be happy to help them with that.
It's a beautiful itinerary.
Putting it together as a group guarantees our space and our rate for a period of time. And there'll be a few little extra perks that we can throw into those bookings as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's an amazing one. And what a great time to go. February? Oh, like, I don't know about you, but out here on the West Coast, I'm like ready to go anywhere in February. Like I'm in Alberta, so I'm used to lots of snow. So, but definitely great time to go for sure.
Cindy, for 2022, we have the Island Princess with the Icelandic and Norwegian fjords. It's a 16-day cruise. This one is actually selling out very, very fast. We have balcony staterooms only, and our team are doing very well at selling these. We have fantastic prices reserved for our guests, so reach out to any team member if you're interested. It's a great itinerary.
Yeah,
Cindy,
and that sells quickly.
Another interesting point, like since the lapse in travel from last year, and we're saying that people are showing an interest in booking ahead, and also in upgrading their rooms, longer itineraries, all that sort of thing. And it's definitely a new interest in round the world cruises.
Yes.
So I know Princess has a great itinerary that we have some clients booked on, and I wonder if you could speak to that.
You know what? The world cruise. So there really is this, I don't know, you've probably heard on the news, they're talking about revenge travel. People are booking. And it was quite interesting because for the cruise lines, we were kind of surprised. We thought people might want to stick closer to home for the first time. And we're actually seeing very much the opposite. We're seeing big bookings, things that are selling out very quickly are the ones that are the 28, the 96 days. Like, it's crazy. And our world cruise is 111 days. And would you believe the one for 2023, in 48 hours, it was over 95% full. So yeah, and it wasn't just ours. There's many other cruise lines that they had put the world cruise
experience. Yeah.
They all were like pretty well sold out in 48.
So this is for everybody who thinks that nobody takes those long cruises and spends that kind of money on vacation. Absolutely, they do.
They do.
It's true. And it's, you know what? I mean, I think we got to remember that, like, we've missed for the last year and a half, we've missed birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, holidays as together. And so what we're actually seeing is booking trend. We're seeing multi-generational groups and families, huge. Like, it's like from grandma and grandpa all the way down, going with the kids and catching up on all the things that they missed over this last year and a bit. And that's huge with us. And then the next thing we're seeing is also the larger ones. Is people, it's like, you know what, I haven't traveled for 2 years, so I'm going to make it really worth my time. And I think it's kind of that, you know what, it made us realize we're so used to being able to travel whenever we want that it kind of made us go, oh, you never know when you're not going to be able to. And so it's like, I'm going to take it.
Appreciation, right?
And that's exactly it. So it was like that whole, I'm going to do it when I can, let's go. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So yeah, the world cruise is beautiful. It goes, oh my gosh, so many amazing places. And actually we had an incredible early booking bonus where we included a lot of extra value to it. So
I know. We
a little bit left. Yeah, it was incredible. Like, it was like amazing deals. So definitely a great destination. And it's a beautiful ship. She's a great size. She's actually a perfect size. She's not over large. Like, she's actually 1900. And so it's like that perfect size to go everywhere. So
sounds fantastic.
Oh,
you mentioned earlier one of the chefs that you have on board, and he's a little bit of a superstar with his own show. Can you tell us what other kinds of cuisine can be found on Princess?
Of course I can. So Curtis Stone has brought his style on board. We actually have one of his restaurants on a few of our ships called Share. And so it's a very international flair to it. And of course, literally they're his menus. When the ships that do not have his restaurant on it, you can actually experience some of his menus on our main dining area. So that's just in the main. So if they don't have his restaurant, you will actually see in our main dining areas, you will actually see it says, it will say Curtis Stone special. And they'll have every night 1 or 2 of his options so that we make sure that people can experience it, of course, and enjoy it. But the other food that we've got, of course, there's things such as we have our specialty dining restaurants. So we have Italian on board. Usually we have, oh, sorry, my mind just went blank on New Orleans flavor, like a Cajun flavor restaurant sometimes. And so we mix it up. Each ship's a little different. So one ship may have our steakhouse and our Italian, and then another one of our ships may have our sushi and our French bistro, right? And so we have multiple different specialty dinings. And then, of course, we've always got our pizzeria, which, I mean, we're famous for our pizza, best pizza at sea, as well as our international cafes on most of our ships. And the international cafe is open 24 hours, and it changes during the morning. It serves breakfast kind of stuff for us to eat, nice little donuts and croissants. And then at lunch, it turns into salads and sandwiches and soups and quiches. And then in the evening, it turns to everything from a charcuterie and cheese platter to, like some nice meals at dinner. So there's different all the time.
It sounds like there's something for everyone.
There is. You will never go hungry.
Culinary is such a big part of any vacation. I know people, like, you know, when we get people saying to us, oh, I just want sun and sand and relaxation. But after the trip, the food does create a lot of lasting memories of enjoyment and time spent together with their loved ones, for sure.
You know what? Some of my best memories are sitting around our vine, like we have the Vines wine bar, having a glass of wine and with friends and with a charcuterie and cheese board and just spending hours chatting. It's an amazing experience and so nice to be able to look out and watch the ocean sail by. It's amazing. So
sounds fantastic. Cindy, right now, Princess is offering something called Princess Plus.
Yes. So what it is it used to be a special that we offered only once in a while. And it was so popular that we actually brought it on as a fare all the time. And so what Princess Plus is it's pretty well, it's kind of making it almost all-inclusive for you. Because we did get a lot of guests that said, you know what, I just want to pay once and be done with it. And so it includes our gratuities for our staff, of course, for our crew. And then it also includes the Wi-Fi, unlimited Wi-Fi for your cruise, and also our premier drink package. And that, of course, includes everything from our alcoholic beverages to waters, to pops, to smoothies, milkshakes. So it's the whole specialty coffees, the whole range. And so that can be all purchased, but it's a much cheaper value. So if you do it on the ship, like to kind of buy everything separately, you're looking at over $90 US per person per day. If you pre-purchase this Princess Plus package, it's only $40 US per day. So it's a half saving, and it really is worth it when you start thinking that, like, you know, $40, 15 of that is gratuities. Well, you know, that's only $25. Well, for your Wi-Fi and your drinks, 2 drinks and you've already covered that, right? So it's worth it. So yeah. And I have to tell you, very exciting. Sorry, ladies, just didn't mean to scare you there. The Princess Plus package is now, when you know our Princess Keys, our private island.
Yes.
So if you purchase your Princess Plus package, you can actually get your drinks included at Princess Keys while you're on the island chilling and relaxing. So it now includes our drink beverages on that location. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's exciting.
A lot of great promos out there. And I know one of the questions we get asked a lot when people are making decisions about future travel, especially right now, is about the flexibility of deposits and refundability, that sort of thing. I know that you have the option sometimes of booking refundable or non-refundable.
You do. And you know what? You can always book refundable or non-refundable. For that, trust me, for that little bit of a price difference, book the refundable. Because then you can always refund up to final payment date. And even then, say, even if you don't want a refund, but say, you know what, if the price goes down or you find a better deal, right? Then if it's refundable, we're able to switch that over and get you the better deal without any penalty.
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah, it really is about put that refundable deposit down. You've got your protection. If you have to cancel for a reason, really up to final payment day, which, it's for example, like I'm traveling and I have a sailing booked for April of 2023, and my final payment is due, in January of 2023. But meanwhile, I've already blocked in the promotion, the cabin, everything that I want. Mm-hmm. I've only done a little deposit, and I can refund it if I want to. But I know I'm going somewhere in April of 2023 now, right? So it's
something to look forward to. It's half the fun of the travel.
It's, what, I think we all need to have a little bit of dreaming and have some ideas of what we want to see and do. And I'm a big believer that it's nice to have that on the calendar and just be able to, look at it. And honestly, our Ocean Medallion app, when you turn it on, it actually tells you 200 days to your vacation. And I'm just like, I can't help it, but I look on and I go, very close.
Bringing back a little bit of normal is fantastic. Oh,
it is. It really is.
Yeah, and we can look forward to that, right? So that because of the spacing and how many people are booking vacations and things like that, it really makes sense to look ahead, choose your dates, and get at least a provisional deposit down for your cruise. And you've certainly given us lots of great information here today to make us all excited and waiting to cruise again, for sure.
Well, I'm so glad, and definitely my recommendation would be, people always think, oh, I'll just look for that last minute. My family and friends are always the best to say that to me. Oh, I'll just look at a cruise last minute. And I'm actually even telling my own friends and family, don't think that for 2022 and 2023, because we're all coming back with less ships. We're all coming back with less capacity and limited sailings, right, for the next couple of years, because it's going to take a couple of years to get back normal. And so if you want to go somewhere, and if you have it in your heart that this is where you want to go and see, book it. Put that refundable deposit down, because we can't add space once it's sold.
Right, exactly.
So it's nice to have that plan.
Advice. That's wonderful piece of advice, Cindy.
Yeah. So
there's no new questions in there. Just one Facebook user says thank you for the chat and all of the great information. So that's good. And I'll just say again that from the whole team at Travel Time, we do put a focus and a specialty on cruising, and we have a number of members such as Wanda here on the chat today who specialize and do lots of cruising and really well familiar with the different cruise lines, and especially Princess we're presenting today. And we would love to assist you and help you plan your next cruise vacation for sure. So you can reach out to any of the team members. And thank you to Wanda for joining, and thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us today on our Thursday Travel Talk.
Well, thank you for having me, and I can't wait till I'll see you back on the ships.
Thank you, Lois.
Thank you.